The next important factor which is affecting on stability of nucleus is mass defect and binding energy. So we know the mathematical expression for this mass defect and binding energy. So we know that this mass defect delta m is directly proportional to stability. That is, more energy is released, more will be the stability of a nucleus. And we know the mathematical expression that the binding energy is equal to mass defect into 931 mega electron volt. So here we are going to express binding energy in terms of mega electron volt. And if you draw the graph of binding energy versus mass number, so we are going to get a curve like this. You just observe the curve here. We are going to get a curve like this. So in this curve, what happened here? So here atomic number 20, so not atomic number, mass number 20, 40 up to 260. You just observe here. So in the beginning, the binding energy is very less. The binding energy of these nuclei are very less, and that's why these are undergo nuclear fusion. So we are observed that in sun the emission of radiation is due to the fusion of uh, hydrogen. So because of what, the mass number is less, and due to less mass number, the binding energy is also less. That's why it is unstable in nature. Deuterium nucleus, for example, and in this region, so the binding energy is more. In this region, the binding up to here, binding energy from 8, so 8.7, 8.9 up to here, the nuclei are stable in nature. So if atomic number less than 30, in this case the atomic number is equal to Z, the number of protons is equal to number of neutrons, Z equal to N. So these are stable, they are not going to emit any radiation. And the atoms which is in between 30 and up to atomic number 88, 89, so they are stable. That is, up to uranium, they are non-radioactive, so they are stable. So they are stable because their binding energy is more. You observe the graph, their binding energy is more. But after, just look at the graph, after uranium 238, that is in this region, so the slowly graph is decreased. So we are going to get a negative slope in this region, and the binding energy is less. It is less than 8 mega electron volt. So in this case, so the nucleus are unstable in nature because of binding energy, less binding energy. So both mass defect and binding energy so decides the stability of the nucleus. More the mass defect, more will be the binding energy. And this binding energy, so if you just look at the curve, we can come to know the elements based on the mass number. Next, another important factor is N by P ratio. So the effect of N by P ratio on stability can be understood with help of a graph. So the graph is drawn. So in the x-axis we have taken number of proton, and in the y-axis we have taken number of neutrons. So number of neutron versus number of proton. This graph is called as stability curve because this is used to explain stability of the nucleus. So observe this graph. So we are here one straight line which is exactly passes from the origin. So in this graph exactly N by P is equal to 1, and observe this zone which is indicated by using a blue color. So this is called as stability region. The elements comes in this region, they are highly stable. That's why this region is called as belt of nuclear stability. Belt of nuclear stability. So the elements up to atomic number 20 to 83, their N by P ratio is 1.5 and they are highly stable in nature. And some elements not belongs to this stability curve. That is, some elements lie above the stability curve and some element lie below the stability curve. That is, then these are unstable in nature. The element which are not comes within the stability region, so they are undergo nuclear transformation to attain the stability. So now let us see. So now, so elements above the stability belt, if you again just look at the graph here, so here n by p is greater than 1, here n by p is less than 1. So elements comes, okay, if you look at this graph, okay, if the elements comes above these are all unstable, and if element comes below this stability, these are also unstable. To attain stability, what they are going to do is they are going to do some nuclear reactions, nuclear transformation. Now let us see the nuclear transformation which is happening. So if the elements above the stability belt undergo beta decay, now let us, for example, C14, carbon exhibit in three different isotope. So C13, C14. Dear student, as I said, isotope, the standard form of carbon is C12. C2, this is called as C12 carbon. So it contains 6 protons and 6 proton. I think you are well familiar with notations of atomic number and mass number. So here it indicates atomic number, it is nothing but number of proton or number of electron, but we are in nuclear chemistry, we are taken as number of proton, and this is both number of protons and neutron. This is Z and this is A. So C12 and C13, C6 and mass number 13, and C40. So carbon exhibit in 3 different forms. So these are called as isotope. As I said in the beginning, they have same 666, same atomic number but different mass number. These are called as isotope, and this is highly stable. So this is highly stable, and the C14, it is also present in the nature. This is less stable. So in order to attain stability, it undergo nuclear transformation. That is, this C14 carbon is converted into a nitrogen and it emits one beta particle. So after that, so before the N by P ratio is 1.34, then after converting into nitrogen, the N by P ratio becomes 1, and this is highly stable in nature. So that's why, so this unstable nuclei which is above the stability, stability curve, it undergo beta decay. So I am going to discuss beta decay in the next classes. Beta decay. And element which is present the stability curve, they undergo alpha decay. That means they emits alpha radiation. So the best example for this alpha decay is uranium 238. This is unstable, highly unstable nucleus. It converted into thorium 234 and helium. It emits helium nuclei. Dear students, so whenever you are going to study nuclear chemistry, you please observe the nuclear chemistry, nuclear reactions. There you observe atomic number, changes in atomic number and mass number, and you must know why this variation takes place. So why atomic number increases and why mass number increases. So you must know the reason for all these things. So it undergoes. So in this case, what happened? So the N by P ratio is 1.55. Then after conversion, it becomes 1.66. But it is also less stable in nature compared to uranium. It is stable, but it is also radioactive, and it is also further undergo nuclear transformation, and it form a stable element finally. Then let us look very important phenomena. As we discussed in the previous minutes, that so we were discussing nuclear stability. So we discussed 4 factors, that is nuclear force, N by P ratio, binding energy, mass defect. These are all decide the stability of the nucleus. And we also discussed if some of the elements which are not stable, They become stable through what? Some nuclear transformation. That is, to attain stability, what happen? They undergo some nuclear reactions. So they undergo nuclear reaction. They undergo alpha decay, beta decay. So nuclear reactions mean what happen? So one nuclei is converted to other nuclei and they emit some radiation. So before going to this phenomena is called as radioactivity. Before going to learn radioactivity in detail, we must know some historical background of discovery of radioactivity. This radioactivity is discovered by Henry Becquerel. That's why this is called as Becquerel rays. He discovered this phenomenon of radioactivity accidentally. So while doing experiment in the laboratory, he just keep the uranium. You know, uranium is a radioactive element. We come to know radioactive only after this Becquerel. He kept this uranium, small uranium block, so in a black box, in an isolated box in which no light, nothing is entered into it. And beside this uranium block, he also kept photographic plate. You know, photographic plate, it's highly sensitive to light. If light is incident on that light, so there is a fringes appear in here. Okay, I think X-ray sheet is the best example for photographic plate. So later he observed that the photographic plate, it is affected and he started to think, so there is no light which is passes from outside. So then he started thinking that, so here there is a chances of light which is coming from inside the box. Then later he studied that and he gave a word radioactivity. It emits radiation. Then he called this phenomena as radioactivity.